guys, so yes, I am filming in my closet today because it's the most convenient place for me to film right now, but yeah. So this video is sponsored by this app that I recently downloaded called K-pop Amino. So I downloaded this app to make sure that you guys would like it, and it's actually really cool. It's kind of like Soompi, if you know that website. It basically has a lot of forums and group chats, and it's really useful. I signed up for it a few days ago, so if you guys want to, you can follow me. It's not focusing. Yep. And I know that K-pop's kind of a niche interest, I guess, if you're not in Korea, so it's kind of hard to find other K-pop fans. So I highly recommend you guys at least try downloading the app, and maybe you can join a group chat and talk to people with similar interests with you. Or you can follow people on the front page or follow me and you can make new friends on the app. So today's video is gonna be about 1MILLION Dance Studio, of course. So it's been pretty crazy how popular 1MILLION Dance Studio has become internationally. It's pretty well known in Korea amongst dancers, but not really amongst just the general population. So the first time I went was for a audition for Leah Kim. I saw this notice on her Facebook page basically calling out for dancers from all around Korea to come and audition for a certain project or something. And that was my first time going to 1MILLION Dance Studio, and I was so nervous because I was such a big fan of Leah Kim, but it wasn't as bad as I expected, even though I didn't get in, of course. So I'll just tell you guys a little bit about how to get there and how to take classes there, and then I'll tell you guys about my experiences. So if you look on their website, there's two ways to get to the dance studio. I didn't look at the other way, but the way that I took was through the subway. So I would ride the subway all the way to Sunjungdeung-yeok. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but yeah, once you get there, you go out of exit 1 and then you go straight, and then once you see Starbucks, you take a right and then you keep going uphill, and then you'll eventually see 1MILLION Dance Studio, and that's how I always got to the studio. And so you'll recognize the 1MILLION sign above the studio, and it's this huge building with other academies like English, hagwons and stuff. So I think it's on the top floor, yeah, like the 4th floor or something. You have to go up like 4 flights of stairs. So when you go in, you have to ask the employee who's at the desk for a certain number of tickets, however many you want, which is how many classes you'll be able to take that month. And then you can pay right away with your card or just cash. And then they usually ask for your personal information like your name, your phone number, other stuff like that, and then they take a picture of you. And so after that, you can just put your stuff in the back or change in the changing room, go to the bathroom or whatever. And then after that, you're supposed to line up with everybody else for the next class if it's almost time for your class. And the first time I went there, it was kind of funny because I saw a lot of confused foreigners just standing around not knowing what to do. And it's kind of hard to explain, but there's a line that's lined up right next to the door where you enter to go into the class. And basically you have to line up behind whoever's in line. Usually coming around 30 minutes before will make sure that you get a good spot in the class, but earlier for more popular classes. So I would say that 1MILLION Dance Studio is quite foreigner friendly because the employees do speak a variety of languages like Chinese, Japanese, and English. And also during the classes, the teachers tend to use some English just so that the international dancers know what the teacher is talking about. And it's pretty intimidating going alone, but it's actually not that bad. Most people are alone and they make their friends at the dance studio, so it shouldn't be too bad. So some rules are you can't use your phone or camera to film outside of the class while the class is going on. And I heard some of the employees talking about it, and they're saying how someone filmed from outside the class and then they uploaded that to a Chinese website, and I guess 1MILLION Dance Studio didn't like unauthorized materials going out without their permission, so make sure you don't film. But once you're inside the class, you can ask someone to film you, maybe if you're in one of the groups or if you want to film the teacher. Also, you can't leave the class once you're in, and if you try to leave and then go back in, they won't let you, so make sure you have everything when you first go in. So the structures for the beginner and the regular level classes are kind of different, even though they're mostly similar. But basically, so in the beginning you do warming up and stretching for about 5 minutes. For regular classes, normally the teacher will go right away into the choreography. But for beginner classes, usually there's some isolation or other technique training. So the majority of the class is just based on following the teacher and learning the choreography. But around the end, after learning the choreography for that class, the teacher divides the class into 5 or 6 groups depending on how big it is. And then each group has their chance to practice in the middle in front of everybody, except most people aren't really watching, they're just practicing on their own, but still it gives them a chance to practice. And then the teacher dances to their own choreography at the end. If it's a filming day, the teacher might just make random groups or might select groups or certain people for filming. But usually the teacher selects a group and then has a group for themselves, and then they ask whoever wants to film, then they can go film. Yeah, so that's pretty much how it goes. And 1MILLIon Dance Studio is probably considered one of the best dance studios in Korea, so it's pretty prestigious. And the atmosphere whenever I went there was no joke. It was like so intense and everyone was so good, but everyone was encouraging each other and it was a really good 분위기, and I always love going there. So the first time I went there to actually take classes, I went with my friends during spring break just to have fun, and I took Mina Myung and May J Lee's classes because they're my 2 favorite choreographers in the studio. For Mina-san, first of all, I just feel like she's very charismatic. She has like this atmosphere that she carries around with her, and it's not really scary per se, but it's kind of hard to approach her, I would say. But she's a really amazing teacher and instructor, and she's really encouraging. One time in Mina Myung's class, we were actually practicing the choreography the day before we were going to film it, and so the teacher was selecting people to perform in the middle just for fun. And so she selected 2 people, and then for the last person she selected me, and somehow the other 언니's made me stand in the middle, and it was so, oh my god, it was so embarrassing because I was so much worse than them, but it was really fun. And I was so like starstruck that I was selected by Mina to dance in the middle, so that was pretty awesome.
Back to the club. Time. 2번. 롤. 원이. 애나. 2, 2, 에. over. 2, 2, 에. 아이씨. 2, 2, 에. 아. 1, 2, 3, 4.
May-J-Sem, this was pretty crazy, but the first time I went to 1MILLIon Dance Studio to get my tickets for classes, I went really early at around 3 p.m. and apparently you're not supposed to go there that early. So I went there and she was practicing her own choreography by herself, and I went in there and she was so friendly. She asked me if I needed any help, and I said that I want to sign up for classes. So she handed me her phone and I got to call the employee people and tell them my situation, and so I came back a little later. But it was just amazing how I got to see May J Lee one-on-one, even though I was such a big fan of her. And the second time that I went was recently, and I actually went with my brother because he had some b-boy events in Seoul and I wanted to go to 1MILLIon Dance Studio again. And so this time I decided to take some beginner classes. I took Bong-young Park Sem's classes and Chris's classes, and I also took one of Yoo Jung Lee's classes, which was a regular level. But since it is 1MILLIon Dance Studio, the beginner level classes are still pretty hard. Even though the moves are a little more simplified, it's still pretty fast, but it is really fun. We learned and filmed the choreography for Bong-young Sun's class in 2 days, I think.
Step 1, 2, 3, 4. Step back 1, 2, E, and 3, and 4, E, and.
And then I also took Chris's beginner class, and it was a bit easier, I feel like. Her choreography is kind of more simple, but it was really fun, and in the end I actually got selected by Chris to dance with her. So if you guys are interested in going to 1MILLIon Dance Studio at least once, I definitely recommend you guys to go. It's definitely an experience that I'll never forget, and I've learned so much as a dancer just by going there. Hopefully I can go there one more time before I go off to college, but if you guys have any questions, put them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them, and maybe I'll make another video about 1MILLIon. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!